Hi students, I'm Sonia from Vidya Guru, starting a new session on current affairs. This session is for the month of December 2021 I'm talking about. The session is obviously very significant because I always tell you that I collect ample number of points to deliver so that I can actually deliver a fruitful session for you guys. You can make out that this session is in English medium. If you are not comfortable with the language, you can switch to the Hindi session, that is also there in the playlist. If you are not comfortable with the language, this English medium session is recorded primarily for our students from South India, is recorded primarily for our students from Northeast India, like students from Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Telangana. Those students who are not able to understand Hindi well, we record a separate session for them. If you understand everything, because I'll try my level best to make you understand everything, whatever is there in this video, I'll try delivering it in easier language so that you can comprehend everything. If you like the video, do press the like button for sure. Share the video with your friends if they are preparing for any competitive exam and that competitive exam has the section of current affairs. Believe me, the questions are going to be there in your exam for sure. Subscribe to Vidya Guru's YouTube channel and press the bell icon which is just beside the subscribe button. That's how you'll receive the notifications of all the exam relevant videos which we upload. I'll start from here on and let's see what the first question is all about. The first question is about the appointments and elections. You can see the people over here. One Indian is there and two people not Indians actually. So let's start from the first question, which is about new Chancellor of Germany. If I read the name of the person straight away, you can even understand when we used to talk about Angela Merkel and she remained in power for such a long period, somebody who's replacing as Chancellor of Germany, Angela Merkel, is being replaced by this fellow. So this fellow is super important. You can even understand that. So I am saying the name of this fellow is Olaf Scholz. That's how I am pronouncing it. He has become the new Chancellor of Germany. I am repeating it. Please understand that the repetition is always purposeful. I can read it once and I can actually move ahead. But I am not reading it because I am not reading news. I am actually providing you the information which is significant from the perspective of your exam. So I want, if I repeat often, you should learn that particular statement whichever is there on the board. I am repeating it. I am saying new Chancellor of Germany, Olaf Scholz is the name of the person. His party, political party can also be asked in the exam and the political party from which he belongs to, and that is Social Democratic Party. Olaf Scholz is from Social Democratic Party. When I move ahead, the next question is about Catherine Russell. Catherine Russell is from USA. What is the question? The question is she has become the new next executive director of UNICEF. The organization UNICEF is important. You may have attempted papers, you may have seen questions on UNICEF. UNICEF is such organization which is asked very frequently in the examinations. You know that if you have written any exam in the past. So UNICEF is actually going to have executive director soon. Next executive director I'm referring to. Her name is Catherine Russell and her nationality is also important. Even that is asked. She is from USA. When I move ahead, the third question is about new FICCI president. FICCI is such an organization which is of very high repute and the rank a person who is going to hold that person should be of some level, as in that person should be of some greater rank. He is basically the MD and chairman of Hindustan Unilever, HUL's chairman and MD, Sanjeev Mehta. So FICCI, a new president of FICCI. So what I'm saying is that FICCI's president, new president is Sanjeev Mehta. All the 3 points are very significant. If you move ahead with me, you will even see the last question is equally important as the first one. That means you should watch the entire video. Whatever time I'm taking from you, I am actually telling you that you will not be wasting even a single minute with me. So please be focused. The next question is about Miss Universe. Although you know about the Miss Universe, although you have heard a lot about it, that Harnaaz Sandhu from India has actually bagged the title, she has become Miss Universe and she is an Indian. We all have seen that. The runner-ups can also be asked. Please understand that the place where this competition took place, the venue can also be asked. The number of the competition, like what number of the Miss Universe contest, that can also be asked. So remain careful that 70th number of Miss Universe 2021 contest took place in Eilat, Israel. That's the place, that's the venue where this Miss Universe competition took place. First. The second thing is that Harnaaz Sandhu has become the winner. Harnaaz Sandhu has become the winner. She's an Indian. I've already told you that. What happens is when, an Indian bags such a title, then the past Indians who achieved the same thing in the past, as in the predecessor, you can call them like that only, from India. So they also, remained Miss Universe in 1994. Sushmita Sen and Lara Datta in the year 2000. They also became the Miss Universe. Years can also be asked, so you have to learn them. First runner-up in the competition, 70th number Miss Universe competition, which took place in Eilat, Israel. I am saying the first runner-up, Nadia Ferreira, she is from Paraguay. See, when a lot many candidates are there who are actually competing in the same contest, there has to be a few finalists. So I'm talking about those finalists, because runner-ups names are also asked in the exam. That is why I have written their names too. Nadia Ferreira, she is from Paraguay. When I move ahead to the second runner-up, she is Lalela Swane and she is from South Africa. I said that Lalela Swane, she is from South Africa. She remained the second runner-up in the same competition where our Harnaaz Sandhu became the Miss Universe. Let's move ahead. Okay, the next question is important days. Important days, I'll start with 10th December, Human Rights Day, right? I'll start with that. So, Human Rights Day is observed on 10th December. When I actually look at the theme, most of you are already aware that on 10th of December, because there are students who start learning important days, automatically. But at times, themes are also important. So, I am teaching you the theme for this year, that was equality. See, equality is the prime motive when you talk about human rights. So equality, when you actually look at it as equality, read it further. What they have written here, that reducing inequality is advancing human rights. Equality should be brought in. For that, what will you do? You will be reducing inequality. So I'm saying equality, reducing inequalities, advancing human rights. That's the theme. If you repeat it often, you'll be able to learn the theme very easily. That's not very difficult. When you move ahead with World AIDS Day, if you wish to know the full form of AIDS, everybody knows that. I feel that acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. That's the full form of the disease AIDS, because many people are not even aware that it has some full form, but many are already aware of the full form. I've just said that. I am saying World AIDS Day is observed on 1st December. Everybody knows that. But this year, even the theme, some theme was kept for the same. So the theme was End Inequalities, End AIDS. End Inequalities, End AIDS. See, if a person is lagging on some ground, inequality is there. So inequality should be removed. End inequality, end AIDS. That was the theme of 1st December's World AIDS Day. Learn these dates and let's move ahead with some other dates. Okay, this is International Anti-Corruption Day. It is international. The first word is international. Read that carefully. International Anti-Corruption Day is observed on 9th December. Even this day had some theme. I included it with the perspective that it is important. In our videos, please understand that whatever we try to include, we do not speak anything which is insignificant, unimportant, which is just added for the sake of, questions are, the number of questions are less. We have added every question with a point, with a mindset that this question is surely going to be there in your exam. So the theme for 9th December's International Anti-Corruption Day was Your Right, Your Role. Say no to corruption. Your right, Your role, say no to corruption. That was the theme for Anti-Corruption Day. When I move ahead for 2nd December and 3rd December, that is International Day for Abolition of Slavery. Slave means servants. If you know, if you are not aware, slavery, slave means servants. So I'm saying International Day for Abolition of Slavery. You can even make out by the picture that, when somebody hires, a slave, that person becomes bound to the master. So that sort of slavery. So I'm saying International Day for Abolition of Slavery is observed on 2nd December. 3rd December, International Day of Persons with Disabilities. You can see the picture over here. Disabilities, 3rd December. Abolition of Slavery, 2nd December. And when I actually talked about Anti-Corruption Day, it is observed on 9th December. Let's move ahead. Okay. New first Deputy MD of IMF. Now you can see that the heading itself, see, it is the categorization of all the, session, of the entire session. When I actually say sports news, when I see, a bank news, when I say financial news, when I say awards, when I say medals, when I say women in power or women in news, something like that. So these are categories. So read them carefully. You can see the pictures of all these powerful women here on the screen. I'll start with the first one. You can see the picture of Geeta Gopinath, and from here on I'll start. As she belongs to IMF, we all know that. Something else, some other rank which she has actually got. Now it is there on the screen. First Deputy MD, Managing Director of IMF. IMF, International Monetary Fund, I have already told you that. I am saying this lady, see, other Deputy Managing Directors are already there. What does it mean when I am calling it first? Out of all the Deputy Managing Directors, she is getting some better authority, some better power. So I am calling it first Deputy MD of IMF. That is the rank she has received. First Deputy MD of IMF, and that is Geeta Gopinath. So she has actually got that rank. When I move ahead, you may have seen the picture of Neena Gupta on social media a lot. What this lady has achieved, you can even see that winner of Ramanujan Prize. When we actually talk about Ramanujan Prize, you even know that a mathematician of some greater repute is going to get such sort of prize. So Ramanujan Prize was given to Neena Gupta, and I'm referring to the winner of 2021 Ramanujan Prize. That's what this lady has actually got. When I move ahead, number 1 on Forbes 100 most powerful women list. You can see the name of Mackenzie Scott. Mackenzie Scott, who's the ex-wife of Jeff Bezos. You can associate her name with, the Jeff Bezos basically. I am saying that this lady remained on top. She remained number 1 on Forbes 100 most powerful women's list. When you talk about India, R. Nirmala Sitharaman, she basically remained on 37th rank on Forbes 100 most powerful women's list. That's pretty incredible. I am saying it is important. You must know that. Either it is Mackenzie Scott or Nirmala Sitharaman, their ranks are important. When I move ahead with next question, it is about sports. When I actually show you these pictures first, you can actually see the picture of Anju Bobby George. You can see the picture of Davis Cup, and here the team which has actually achieved something. Let's start with that. Winner of 2021 Senior National Women Football Championship. You can even read that. When I talk about winner of 2021, winner of what? Senior National Football Championship. But it is actually Women's Football Championship I'm talking about. Manipur is the state which actually got that. That means Manipur became the winner, remained the winner in this Senior National Football Championship. World Athletics Women of the Year Award. Anju Bobby George received it. Look at this picture here. Anju Bobby George, she's actually from long jump, background. I am saying she's actually the athlete. Obviously, that is why she has received something of that sort. World Athletics Women of the Year award was given to Anju Bobby George. It is important as it is World's Athletics Woman of the Year award. When you talk about Davis Cup, it is associated with men's, it is basically a team event. Associated with men's tennis. Associated with men's tennis. When you actually talk about it, who won this award, who won this cup, and by defeating, which nation, then I'll be explaining it here. I'm saying Davis Cup 2021 winner, Russia remained that, and I am saying by defeating Croatia, Russia could lift the title of Davis Cup. I'll explain that once again very quickly. Manipur Senior National Women Football Championship won. Manipur won that, remained the winner. Anju Bobby George associated with long jump. She actually got World Athletics Women of the Year award. Davis Cup 2021 winner Russia by defeating Croatia. Whenever I teach something of this sort, I always tell you that runner-ups are important too. Let's move ahead. When I move ahead, you can see that Argentina win. Argentina wins what? Argentina wins Men's Junior Hockey World Cup. Now it is important by defeating Germany. Germany is also an important nation. What I am referring is winner is Argentina defeating Germany. So Germany remained the runner-up. In what competition? In what competition? I am saying Men's Junior Hockey World Cup. The important part here is as it took place in India. Bhubaneswar, Odisha was the venue of it. That is why such a question can be asked in your exam surely. Be careful. I was saying that Men's Junior Hockey World Cup took place in Bhubaneswar, Odisha, in which Germany remained the runner-up and Argentina won that. When we move ahead, we can see the third bowler. When you actually classify it as the next point, that third bowler to take 10 wickets in an innings, Ajaz Patel. Ajaz Patel is from New Zealand. Although it sounds like he is from India or Pakistan or maybe, Bangladesh. He is from New Zealand. Ajaz Patel is from New Zealand. What did he do? Why we are actually talking about this fellow? He has done something important, very significant. Third bowler. He has become just the third bowler who took all the wickets, who took 10 wickets actually in one inning. So I am saying Ajaz Patel is his name, and prior to were Jim Laker. He was the first one who did that. Second was Anil Kumble who did that. Now what is important out here? New Zealand was playing against India. New Zealand was playing against India. When Ajaz Patel could do such a thing, New Zealand was playing against India. That can also be the question. Learn that and let's move ahead. Okay. Development projects and inaugurations. You can see the picture out here that what development is happening. So NTPC is doing something. It is setting up something. What is it making? What is it building? NTPC to set up India's first green hydrogen based microgrid project. NTPC to set up India's first green hydrogen based microgrid project. And where NTPC is doing so, it is in Vizag, and if you wish to know the place precisely, it is Simadri. Simadri is in Vizag, Vizag is in Andhra Pradesh, we know that. So Simadri, Vizag, Andhra Pradesh is the place where NTPC is coming up with India's first green hydrogen based microgrid project. When I move ahead, now this is Saryu Nehar. Nehar means canal I am referring to. That is why for the students of English background I have written that. Saryu Nehar canal I am referring to. National project inaugurated at Balrampur, UP. See, what is this project all about? There you are actually, see the rivers are basically getting interlinked. Rivers are getting interlinked. So Saryu Nehar, Saryu canal, national project inaugurated at Balrampur, UP. The question is super important. Read the lower point. It states that rivers interlinked. Ghagra, Saryu, Saryu canal, Saryu, Rapti, Banganga and Rohini. I'll highlight this point. You can even read that. Ghagra, Saryu, Rapti, Banganga and Rohini. These are the rivers which will be interlinked. So the question is important as these many rivers are the part of this project. When I move ahead, rupees 44,605 crores. They are going to spend this much on what? Ken-Betwa linking project. Ken-Betwa, we were talking about rivers earlier in the earlier page. Here also we are talking about rivers. Ken and Betwa, they are rivers only. So 44,605 crore rupees will be spent on what? Ken, Betwa, these are the rivers. There will be a linking project which will come up, and Bundelkhand. When I talk about Bundelkhand, some part is in UP, some part is in MP. So students start, writing it is in UP, some, write it is in MP. So I've written that Bundelkhand, UP and MP. I am saying 44,605 crore Ken Betwa linking project for Bundelkhand, UP and MP. You may have understood that this project, this is the cost and the place where it is starting. It is basically first project under National Perspective Plan. That is why the question is important. First project under National Perspective Plan. It is of that level because it is of national level. Now, Umia Dham Temple. Umia Mata, Umia Dham Temple. Umia Mata, that is why Umia Dham Temple. So the foundation stone was laid in Ahmedabad. Umia Dham Temple foundation stone laid in Ahmedabad. Learn that carefully because they may ask you, because this is all about launches and the projects which are actually coming up now. Kashi Vishwanath Corridor, you may have seen that all over on social media and even in news, that Varanasi, or you can call it Kashi Vishwanath Corridor, was actually unveiled or launched. So Kashi Vishwanath Corridor connecting what? Connecting temple and Ganga, that was unveiled, and it is in Varanasi. Obviously, so Varanasi is in UP. We all know that. Let's move ahead. You can even see the question is important. Okay, not even one question was added, which is of less significance. Questions are very important. Do press the like button if you are understanding whatever I am teaching here. Now I'll be actually talking about Jnanpith Award. Many of you will be calling it Gyanpith only. It does not matter, whatever you may call it. So 56th Jnanpith Award 2021 I'm referring to. Read that carefully. When I actually mark the year is 2021 and 2022, students say that year hasn't come. You can even check their website. It is clearly written over there that 56th numbers Gyanpith Award was given to Nilmani Phukan. Nilmani Phukan is associated with Assamese. That means he is the Assamese writer. When you talk about Konkani writer, his name is Damodar Mauzo. Damodar Mauzo received the 57th numbers Gyanpith Award for the year 2022. 21 Nilmani, 22 Damodar Mauzo. Damodar Mauzo is associated with Konkani and Nilmani is associated with Assamese. The languages in which they write, even that is super significant. If somebody asks you, the first recipient of Gyanpith Award, which was actually given in 1965, his name was G.S. Kurup. I have written that as well. First recipient, G.S. Kurup, 1965, he was the first recipient of Gyanpith Award. Now we are talking about 56th and 57th number. When you move ahead, you can see there's an award called Dr. M.S. Swaminathan Award. M.S. Swaminathan, Green Revolution, father of Green Revolution. You can relate that award because in his memory, to commemorate him, the people associated with agriculture receive such an award. Dr. M.S. Swaminathan Award 2017-19 of 7th number was given to V. Praveen Rao. I hope you can even make out whichever question I am teaching you that has the possibility of being there in your exam for sure. The next question is trilateral exercise. Trilateral means three nations are going to be the part. The name of the exercise is Dosti. Three nations, India, Maldives and Sri Lanka. Three. I'm saying India, Sri Lanka and Maldives. I was saying name of the exercise is Dosti, took place in Maldives only. So these are the three types of questions which are asked in, from an exercise. You can read everything here even if they may ask you the number, that is the 15th number. I'll repeat that, whatever I've said. Trilateral, so India, Sri Lanka and Maldives. The venue was Maldives. The number was 15th. The name was Dosti, and the ships which were actually used during this exercise were Indian Coast Guard vessel Vajra and Apurva. So Apurva and Vajra, these are the ships we used during this exercise. When you actually move down, you can see the next exercise. The name of that exercise is Ekuvirin 21, Ekuvirin 2021. So this exercise was a military exercise. So Ekuvirin 21, it was a military exercise between India and Maldives again. This exercise also took place in Maldives. When I actually read it as Kaddu Island, you may like pronouncing it as Kaddu Island. So pronounce it in any of the manners, does not make any difference. So I am saying Kaddu Island, Maldives is the place where Ekuvirin 21 took place between India and Maldives. And else I was saying that it was a military exercise. Keep that in mind surely. The next question is Defense News again. So Chairman of Chiefs of Staff Committee, read that carefully. Our Army Chief is General M.M. Naravane. Our Army Chief is General M.M. Naravane. Now, one Chairman of Chiefs of Staff Committee. Chief of Staff Committee, I'm saying one Chairman is there for the same. So, our Army Chief M.M. Naravane has become the Chairman of some committee. So, that committee is Chiefs of Staff Committee, right? Let's move ahead with the second point. It states that, so BrahMos, when I start talking about it, everybody knows that beforehand. Air version of BrahMos, air version. So supersonic cruise missile test fired from Chandipur. Chandipur is in Odisha, we know that, via Sukhoi 30 MK series. So Sukhoi 30 MK series is there. I am saying BrahMos supersonic cruise missile was test fired from Chandipur by this particular Sukhoi 30 MK series. So Chandipur is in Odisha. Try to keep all the points in your mind. Try to write them, because when you prepare notes, when you make notes, you are able to revise them when your exam is there too. When you move ahead with the last point, you can even see that BIMSTEC is there. PANX 21. PANX 21, that's the name of the exercise. I'm saying humanitarian assistance and disaster relief exercise, took place of BIMSTEC, and the venue kept for it was Pune. As it took place in Pune, it becomes important for us. PANX 21, Pune, BIMSTEC, it is associated with BIMSTEC. It is the, exercise of BIMSTEC, And when I talk about Sukhoi 30 MK series, I was saying that Chandipur, Odisha, from where BrahMos supersonic cruise missile was test fired. When I move ahead, now, when I start talking about banking and finance news, the classification of bank news, the students who are writing bank exams, they have to be careful. Whenever RBI's bi-monthly policy review comes out, you need to learn that. Even if the rates are unchanged, the rates remain unchanged. Read, whenever you are writing the exam, try to read the last rates. Repo 4%, reverse repo 3.35%, MSF, that is marginal standing facility, and bank rate, it remained 4.25%, and the stance of the policy remained accommodative. I'll repeat that. I'm saying repo 4%, reverse repo 3.35%, marginal standing facility and bank rate, they remain 4.25%. The stance of the policy remained accommodative. When I move ahead, NBFC prompt corrective action framework from 1st October 2022. That means it will be applied, it will be, started from this particular date, keeping the financial status of NBFCs in mind till March 2022. I'll repeat that. NBFC prompt corrective action. When I talk about prompt corrective action, that means we have started talking about NPAs sort of thing. You can associate with that corrective action will be taken, So prompt corrective action, NPAs, non-performing assets. I'm saying if loans were there, defaults, were started, I'm just saying that people have stopped paying their loans. So they have become NPAs. So prompt corrective action in that regard. So NBFC's PCA framework will be launched from 1st October 2022 by keeping the financial status of NBFCs in mind till March 2022. I am saying that. When we actually include the NBFCs, what sort of NBFCs here I'm talking about? All the NBFCs which are deposit taking. Be careful when you read that. All the NBFCs which are deposit taking, they are receiving deposit, they are receiving money. So there should be more vigilance onto them. That is why all the deposit taking NBFCs, but non-deposit taking NBFCs have some restrictions here. We are not including all. So NBFCs which are non-deposit taking, the ones which are there in middle layer, upper layer and top layer. So these are the non-deposit taking NBFCs which fall in these layers. They will be the part of this PCA framework. When I actually see that, it excludes. See, when the prompt corrective action is there, the framework is getting, applied. So on NBFCs, so it is excluding government companies and it is excluding housing finance companies also. It is excluding government companies and housing finance companies. Please read that carefully. If you are writing any bank exam, this question is surely going to be there and you are going to give me the feedback after your exam that these many questions were there in the exam. Everybody does that. So every student, whosoever is watching this video, please give me the feedback after your exam that whatever I have taught, how many questions were there in your exam. So read that carefully. Promoter stake limit in private banks hiked from 15% to 26%. Promoter is primarily somebody who was actually, who's the founder of the bank. It can be a person, it can be an organization. I am saying their stake limit in private banks was 15% earlier and it has been hiked to 26%. So that the promoter can actually have greater share, that means the founder can have, greater share in the bank. So promoter stake limit in private banks was raised from 15 to 26% now. Now UPI payments limit for IPOs and retail direct scheme hiked from 2 lakh to 5 lakh. There's some limit hiked here. IPOs, we all have heard about them, that Paytm is launching its IPO or some other organization is launching its IPO in the stock market. I am saying if IPOs are released, I am a person who is willing to make the payment and buy that IPO. I am willing to invest 4 lakh. Earlier I was willing to invest 4 lakh through UPI only, maybe 3 lakh or something, but that amount I was not able to actually invest through UPI because the limit of UPI was just 2 lakh rupees. Now it has been raised to 5 lakh. Now up to 5 lakh I can actually make the payment through UPI and invest in IPO and retail direct schemes. UPI to be launched for feature phones. Feature phones do not have UPI sort of facility. Now they are saying that UPI to launch UPI to be launched for feature phones also. 3-in-1 accounts are being popular. Every bank is trying to get that. So like SBI sort of banks are doing it also. So 3-in-1 accounts, that's the combo of savings account, demat account and trading account. Savings account, demat account and trading account. They may ask you that. Be careful, learn that and let's move ahead. Okay, the next question is, RBI gives LIC approval to hike its stake to 9.99% in IndusInd Bank. In the last video only, there's a financial organization called LIC. You must be thinking that LIC needs to have its money invested only in LIC. But I am saying LIC can have, can be the shareholder in other banks also. That's what I talked about in the last video about Kotak Mahindra Bank. Here I am referring to IndusInd Bank. I am saying RBI gave its nod to LIC to do what? LIC is going to increase its stake to 9.99% in IndusInd Bank. LIC has its stake in IndusInd Bank already. It is just raising it. It is just increasing its stake to 9.99% in IndusInd Bank. Right? When we move ahead, Doorstep bill payment service launched. That sort of thing you expect only from private banks. Now India Post Payment Bank is also doing the same thing. So India Post Payment Bank is starting doorstep bill payment service. Actually they are tying up. They themselves can't do that. So I'm saying they're tying up with NPCI's Bharat Bill Pay. National Payments Corporation of India's Bharat Bill Pay is there, and they are tying up for the same, that doorstep bill payment service can be started by India Post Payment Banks. When I actually move to the lowest point, it states that payment bank to get scheduled bank status. A payment bank is there. It will be a scheduled payment bank. Scheduled commercial bank? No, scheduled payment bank. I'm saying payment bank to get scheduled bank status. So scheduled payment bank will be Paytm Payment Bank. So that is the bank which will be a scheduled payment bank only. This question can be asked. It is important because Paytm was in news earlier as well. Now, DigiDhan awards for highest Bhim UPI transaction in private banks in last 2 years to Karnataka Bank. Government is trying its best to promote digital payments. That is why digital awards, DigiDhan awards. So DigiDhan award is given to Karnataka Bank for what? For doing what? In last 2 years, in all the private sector banks, highest Bhim UPI transactions, highest Bhim UPI transactions in private banks in the last 2 years was actually done by Karnataka Bank. That is why the DigiDhan award was given to Karnataka Bank. When I move ahead, I'll talk about this question in detail. First you read that, and after reading, please realize that I feel that till the time I am not going to explain that, you will not be able to understand it. Read it. Rupees 1300 crore incentive scheme to boost digital payments by reimbursing transaction charge to bank levied as MDR. Merchant discount rate is MDR on RuPay debit card and Bhim UPI payments up to 2000. What does it mean? Have you read that? Have you understood a bit? Now I'll explain that. I'll try to make it easier for you. I am saying merchant discount rate. It has something to do with merchants. Consider it like that. I am a merchant. I have actually got a POS machine or a swipe machine from a bank. If a customer comes to me and swipes his card here, then I get to pay some amount on every transaction to the bank. So I'll not promote, such sort of transaction where I get to pay money in terms of, in every transaction I'll be paying the money to the bank. So I'll not be promoting such a transaction. I'll prefer they should pay me in cash or some other way, through some other way. Now if the payment is up to 2000, up to rupees 2000 only, then try to relate this point with this point only. I'm actually trying to make it easier for you. I am saying if the customer is there and making the payment up to 2000 rupees only, then the charge which I used to pay to the bank on every transaction, on every swipe, that will be paid by the government. That is the incentive scheme of 1300 crore to promote digital transactions, to boost digital transaction. Government is actually paying to the merchants, not paying to the merchants, actually paying the money to the banks on behalf of merchants, so that merchants can promote digital transactions. I hope you've understood that now. So 1300 crore incentive scheme to boost digital payments up to 2000 only if it is paid through RuPay debit card or Bhim UPI payments only. That is the case we are actually we wish to highlight, because they may ask you this as well. So to boost digital payments by reimbursing transaction charge to banks levied as MDR, merchant discount rate. Let's move ahead. The next point is indices and reports. Indices, plural of index. Indices, plural of index. So indices and reports. What is the index like? As per India's Skills Report 2022, number 1 state on employability. Understand that the people of the state, how employable they are, that actually makes the state stand on the first, rank. Maharashtra has become the state where they say that as per India Skill Report 2022, number one state on employability has become Maharashtra. Why this particular report or index is important? Because these many organizations are involved here. You can see that. VBox, CII, AICTE, AIU, United Nations Development Program, UNDP is also the part of it. I am saying these many organizations are releasing such sort of India skill report in which Maharashtra topped. When I actually move to the lower point and the lower report, the number one rank on World Talent Ranking. Read the words carefully. It is World Talent Ranking 2021, on which Switzerland stood on top. Switzerland remained on top. When you talk about India, India remained on 56th number. In what rank or what report I am referring to? I am talking about World Talent Ranking. World Talent Ranking 2021. First, Switzerland, 56th number was given to India. When I actually talk about that, who prepares or which organization prepares this particular talent, ranking, this talent ranking is prepared by IMD, Institute for Management Development. Institute for Management Development. Let's move ahead. Okay, IFFI, read the picture. International Film Festival of India took place in Goa. The number was 52nd. The number 52nd is important. When you say something international, that becomes even super important for us. So, International Film Festival of India. We are providing the awards to international films. That is why when you can see that best film was given to Ring Wandering. Ring Wandering is the movie of Japan. I'll repeat that. I am saying best film, Ring Wandering, Japan, in International Film Festival of India, which took place in Goa. That was of 52nd number. Best Director, Vaclav Kadrenka. Best Director, Vaclav Kadrenka, for the movie Saving One Who's Dead. Best Director, Best Actor, Best Actress, and the best film. So best film, I told you the name is Ring Wandering from Japan. When I move ahead, that Vaclav Kadrenka for the movie Saving One Who's Dead. When I move ahead with best actress, Angela Molina for the movie Charlotte. So Angela Molina for the movie Charlotte. Best actor Jitendra Joshi for the movie Godavari. Godavari के लिए Godavari, for Godavari, Jitendra Joshi got the Best Actor award. When I move ahead with International Film Personality of the Year, you generally see that Prasoon Joshi is, receiving a lot many awards. So you are, looking at this fellow again. Prasoon Joshi and Hema Malini, Indian Film Personality of the Year award was given to both Prasoon Joshi and Hema Malini. When I move ahead, you can even make out that not even a single question is unimportant. I'm telling you that. When you move ahead with awards and medals, winner of UNESCO Heritage Awards. UNESCO Heritage Award was given to Nizamuddin Basti. What award I'm referring to in specific? Award for Excellence 2021. Special recognition for sustainable development was given to Nizamuddin Basti. Basti, I'm referring to a place. So Nizamuddin Basti, winner of UNESCO Heritage Award, Award for Excellence 2021, special recognition for sustainable development to given to Nizamuddin Basti. When you actually move to the next point, Best Pavilion, gold medal was given to Bihar, as in what? 40th India International Trade Fair. 40th India International Trade Fair held in Delhi, in which Bihar remained, best. So Best Pavilion gold medal was given to Bihar, and 40th India International Trade Fair, which was held in Delhi. The theme for this India International Trade Fair was Atmanirbhar Bharat. So Atmanirbhar Bharat in India International Trade Fair. Bihar received the award. Learn that as well. India wetlands. This question is super important. Believe me, very important. Such questions are asked very frequently. Wetlands. So till now you can even see, if you are watching, you should not miss out on any question. Try to watch the entire video. I'll start with Kazuveli wetland. I may pronounce it incorrectly. Kazuveli wetland. Please understand that it is in Tamil Nadu. First you need to learn that. Now Kazuveli wetland, that has been declared a bird sanctuary also. That is the important thing. So Kazuveli wetland is there. It has become a bird sanctuary too. It is located in Tamil Nadu. You can see the importance of the particular thing, that it is a wetland and it is a bird sanctuary also. So that is why the name of this particular place will be asked from you. So Kazuveli is in Tamil Nadu. Haidarpur wetland. Now when I say Ramsar sites, whenever I talk about it, at times students are aware, but at times students are not. When they actually purchase an online course from us, we teach them in detail what Ramsar sites are. But Ramsar sites, if you have not heard about Ramsar sites, you can go to any website and read about them. So Ramsar sites, Ramsar convention, it is there now, there on the screen. They are frequently changing, so you cannot actually learn the names of all. Only learn the name of the most recent one which got added. Haidarpur wetland is in UP. First you need to know that this wetland now designated as a Ramsar site. Wetlands get the status of Ramsar sites. They become Ramsar sites. So they are located, this place Haidarpur wetland is in UP. So it got added. Now India has 47 Ramsar sites and the 47th one is Haidarpur. Haidarpur, which is there, Haidarpur wetland is there in front of you. The question is very important. The next question is DRDO missile and rocket launch. Now when I actually talk about them, I'll start with SANT. Explain that, as in I'm going to tell you the expanded form of it. Standoff, anti-tank missile. Standoff, anti-tank missile was launched from Pokhran is in Rajasthan. Extended range Pinaka, ER, extended range Pinaka rocket was also launched from Pokhran, Rajasthan. Supersonic missile assisted torpedo. This is the full form of SMART as well. They're calling it SMART. So I'm saying supersonic missile assisted, this RT is torpedo. So supersonic missile assisted torpedo is SMART. It was actually, we launched from, when I actually call it Wheeler Island, you know the name of the Wheeler Island got changed to APJ Abdul Kalam Island now. So I'm saying APJ Abdul Kalam Island is in Odisha, which was earlier known as Wheeler Island. Now I'm saying this SMART, supersonic missile assisted torpedo, was also launched from this place. Vertically launched short range surface to air missile. VL, vertically launched. SRSAM, short range. SAM, surface to air missile. Vertically launched, short range, surface to air missile was launched from a surface to air missile launched from Chandipur, Odisha. Even this question was super significant. If you have understood everything, please press the like button. If language remained the barrier, switch to the Hindi session. And thank you so much for watching.